talk about them in the other courses. Next number is learning situation or environment. Here, we deal with the environmental factors and learning situations which come midway between the learner and the teacher. Topics like classroom life and group dynamics, techniques, and aids that facilitate learning and evaluation, techniques, practices, guidance, counseling, or etc. for the smooth functioning of the teaching-learning process. And it plays the most important role here. The next number is evaluation of learning process. Some forms of evaluation inevitable in teaching, also in all fields of activity when judgment is to be made. Evaluation plays an important role here. Even when we want to cross a road, we make a judgment whether it is safe to cross the road or not. Effectiveness of learning process always depends on the evaluation, as it gives the knowledge of result, which helps the learner as well as the teacher to modify or correct oneself. Educational psychology guides here and helps us. Guides what? Educational psychology guides are by explaining the different methods of assessment contributing to the effectiveness of learning process. Knowing the learner, acquiring the essential skill in teaching and evaluation are the focal points in the study of educational psychology. Individual differences. It's universally accepted that every individual differs from every other one. This idea has been brought to light by educational psychology. Personality and adjustment. Education has been defined as the all-round development of the personality of an individual. If education has to fulfill this function, all instructional programs have to be based on the principles governing the nature and development of personality. The next one, teacher. The teacher is a potent force and is any scheme, teaching, learning process. It discusses the role of the teacher. It emphasizes the need of knowing thyself for teachers to play his role properly in the process of education. This conflicts motivation, anxiety, adjustment, level of aspiration, etc. Throws light on the essential personality traits, interests, aptitudes, the characteristics of effective teaching, etc., so as to inspire him or her for becoming a successful teacher. The next one is guidance and counseling. Education is nothing but providing guidance, counseling required for the proper development of the child. This is very true, especially in the light of the extremely complex and problematic situation one has to face in the fast-growing world. Educational psychology has come to the rescue by developing principles and practical measures helpful in providing effective guidance and counseling. We can conclude by saying that educational psychology is narrower in scope than general psychology. While general psychology deals with the behavior of the individual in a general way, educational psychology is concerned with the behavior of the learner in an educational setting. Relevance of educational psychology for teachers. Here, we are going to talk and discuss about the relevance of educational psychology for teachers. Educational psychology has contributed considerably to the creation of a modern system of education. The knowledge of educational psychology helps the teacher in the ways that I will tell you here. Some ways that I will mention here. First, to understand the stage of development. Here, psychology has clearly shown that human life passes through different stages of development before it reaches adulthood. Your infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Psychologists have also thoroughly studied the characteristic behavior patterns in these different periods of life. Identification of these periods with different sets of characteristics and attributes as regards physical, mental, emotional development greatly help educationists to design curricula and determine appropriate methods of teaching for students at different ages. To know the learner is the second step. The child or the learner is the key factor in the teaching-learning process. Educational psychology helps the teacher to know his interests, attitudes, aptitudes, and the other acquired and innate capacities and abilities. To know the stage of development linked with his social, emotional, intellectual, physical, and aesthetic needs. To know his level of aspiration, his conscious and unconscious behavior, his motivational and group behavior, his conflicts, desires, and other aspects of his mental health, so that perfect guidance and help can be provided and positive attitude towards the learners can be formed.